Do you see the melee scene ever embracing third-party change the game and force things like left ground load will always be a ref call? Always ref call, in my opinion. I think we're always going to be scared of visible mods. I think unless Nintendo outright comes out and like contractually says, hey, it's cool if you guys run certain things, I don't think we should ever do them. Because I think Melee is already a really, like, okay, I think Melee is already like 95% perfect. And I think that like we can make these changes to make it like 96% perfect. But the risk is that it becomes 0% perfect because we can't play it anymore, right? Like we can't have big tournaments. And like, I think the people who like play Slippi and like, they're like, man, Frozen Stadium is so fucking unplayable. I will literally quit Melee, blah, 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 whatever. I just think that like, there are like 60 to 100,000 people who will watch pro level Melee if it's Genesis or Big House, that if we got rid of those tournaments, I mean, we would just shrink by orders of magnitude. Like our scene would shrink by orders of magnitude. And I realized this at the chess camp that I went to in Mexico. Like there were a couple people there who knew a lot about the Melee community. Not a lot, but they knew a lot for like a casual. They were like, oh yeah, blah, 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 blah. Like how is like, I know Mango's doing really well again. I heard Mango's doing really well again. Like I know he's like back on top. How's Mutaking doing? Like I know back in the day he used to like have all this crazy frame data stuff, but I don't think he's been playing recently, right? Like shit like that, right? Like kind of service. And like there's a lot of people that are like that level invested that I think really prop our community up. And like, yeah, we can kill off all of those by like, or risk killing off all of those by, I don't know. I just think that like, if the Big House TO comes out and says like, yo, this is a crazy risk and we shouldn't do it. Like, I don't know. That's just so much more important to me than, I don't know. What are we actually arguing here? Are we saying that like, oh, like it's super bullshit that Plup lost to Mango that one time because the windmill, like Mango doesn't deserve to beat Plup or something? Like, are we saying that wasn't a legit win? I don't know. It's like, it's not like it's fucking Flipsy beating Mango. It's not like that level of upset. It's like Mango beating Plup. Like we're saying, like the arguments people are using for like, oh, Unfrozen Stadium is bullshit. Like it produces like, you know, bad tournament sets or whatever. Like the data that people are, what's the data people are actually using? Like what are the upsets that are happening because of Frozen Stadium or Unfrozen Stadium? Like Mango Plup, right? That's what people are talking about. Wizzy Zane. That's not even upset. Zane winning would have been the upset. Like, is that what we're saying? We're saying like Mango Plup is such an unexpected result. No, that Unfrozen Stadium is bad for competitive integrity. That's ridiculous. We actually have, that doesn't make any sense. Half the Puff matches are just ledge stalling. That's half the Puff matches anyway. So I don't know if you've watched any Puff matches lately, but Aklo HBox almost went to time on f***ing Fountain of Dreams, which is a small triplat stage, and it's Fox Puff. You just like mod the geometry to work. That'd be sick. We actually probably could get away with that because you could do that invisibly. Like if you just modded the ECB stuff, we actually probably could do that. That's happened like once though, and it was funny as f***. Like Plup falling, it's always Plup by the way. Plup falling through the stage against STJ and the STJ cracks up 2 seconds later. Is that, are we actually mad about that? Who's mad about that? I'm not, I do not give a shit. I don't think that hurts Melee. I would say it helps Melee. I would say Plup falling through the stage against SJ and then SJ laughing his ass off is probably net good for the Melee scene. Is Plup even mad about? I don't even think Plup is that mad about that. Plup was playing all Fox. He does this thing where he goes to Shine. He always does the Shine thing where he goes to Shine. He plays all Samus or he plays all Fox or something. He plays some character that's like not his main usually. I doubt Plup is even that mad about it. we literally, I guess what I'm saying is we don't even have data that Unfrozen Stadium is that bad. Like, if people say it's bad for competitive integrity, I'm like, I get that you feel that way, but I just don't think that's actually true. Plup's also mad about Jaleel being a legal character. It's really funny that Plup said Fox and Marth. Super short answer. Plup also said that Marth was broken. Woke. That's so woke. It would have been even better if he just said Marth. Damn, Plup was always a Marth hater. If we unfree Stadium and Fox and Infinite the wrong, then why is Wobbling man? I don't know. Wobbling's like, well, one, I think we should legalize it. But two, I don't know. The Rock Infinite is like situational, right? I don't know. It's a lot more situational. I don't know. It just doesn't come up as often. Like you can just kind of not be there. You know what I mean? Like as the Peach player or whatever, or like the Falcon or whoever's trying to get it, or whoever's like potentially getting infinited. Like, so you can't infinite against the fire tree. Against the tree on the fire stage, it doesn't really work. You kind of like STI out. And in the rock stage, like you kind of have to willingly be down there. You can't just like send someone down there. Like you can't take Peach and like throw her into the pit, right? Because she's not a fast faller, right? Or even Falcon, who is a fast faller. You can't hit him in a way that he like goes into the pit, right? Like, just visualize it. He's gonna bounce off the wall and he can tech the wall, right? So it's like, they have to kind of just be down there stupidly. It doesn't really come up much. Yeah, and it's not really an infinite. The transformation goes away eventually. So if you get it towards the end of the transformation, it's gonna end. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, if you're in the pit on the rock stage, like, it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of silly. I have gotten the infinite in tournament though, and I will say I am a benefactor. I am a benefactor of the pit. There was definitely a God. I think I even remember what tournament it was. Hang on. Yeah, so I'm like, it's like game 3 or whatever on Stadium against Allen's Peach. It's 2014, and you'll notice that the fire stage is coming up, and I'm losing. It's game 3, and I'm losing on my counter pick. I'm like, damn, this sucks. Losing, but hang on a minute.
This is so unfortunate. Can Toph just do this infinitely? He's good at it.
You know, I actually dropped it. You saw I dropped it for a second, right? It looked like it shouldn't have dropped. Why did it drop? Because I didn't f it up. Oh, I guess I did f it up. I guess I was slow on the shiners. Anyway. Yeah, so this definitely happened in tournament. This definitely happened in tournament. I used to be so good at this infinite that I would start doing, and I did this in some of the Scar and Toph show sets against Scar. I would do double shine, drill, double shine, drill, double shine, drill, double shine, drill. I used to be so f***ing good at this infinite. So yes, I have been the benefactor, and yeah, I mean, how did this one start? So this is like the borderline of like, he kind of f***ed up. Like, he clearly didn't mean to go in it. Actually, I got a forward air instead of this forward air was actually sus as f***. If he crouch cancels that forward air, if he crouch cancels that forward air that I probably did by accident, I'm so dead. He down smashes and I take 8 gazillion damage and I die, right? It's kind of, this is on the cusp. Like, he didn't go in there stupidly. Like, we were fighting and it just happened to happen. It happened to come up. This is like the most forgivable way that you can end up in the pit as a character that can get hit by the infinite. Down smashes, you fall through the tree or some shit. You know, the warning was there before. Yeah, it does say in the back. Yeah, you do know. Like, you are paying attention to that. Like, when you're playing, I know this like might not be something that you think about as a Slippi kid, but like, you definitely do kind of pay attention to which transformation is coming up. Like, I definitely would. You always look. Like, it says, you know, it's pretty big. It's like, it's there for a while. Yeah, you kind of, and you know where the tree's coming up, you know, blah, blah, blah. Why do people want to race on the Kusuge for Melee? That's my question. I don't know. I think Melee should be a little Kusuge. It is a little Kusuge. I don't think we should get rid of it. I think we should embrace it. Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know. I just don't think they're that bad. I don't think that bad. People will never take me seriously when I say this because I'm a Fox player and I think there's an inherent Fox privilege. I think other characters can fight on these transformations too, though. It's not like the end all be all. It's not the end of the world. There are certain things Fox loses as well, by the way. Like, you can't wave shine anymore on half the transformations because the slopes. The ground gets so slopey that you lose your wave shine follow-ups. Because if you wave shine someone on a slope, they go into the air for a split second, they re-land, and they can trigger their shield immediately. So, like, you definitely lose a lot of bread and butter stuff with Fox as well. Yeah, I don't know. Part of me wishes I wasn't a Fox player just so I could make the argument for Unfrozen Stadium and have people take me seriously. No one ever takes me seriously on Twitter because I'm a Fox player and because I literally did infinite people in tournament, but many players will just wait the transformation out. That's fine. That's fine. Those moments were hype. Those moments were hype. People always do. They always talk about, people do this about timeouts. Oh, timeouts are so boring. They're so lame. Everyone pops off when there's a timeout. Timeouts are exciting. People are like, oh, they're gonna wait out the transformation. It's gonna be so boring. You gotta sit there for 30 seconds. Have you ever actually been in a super major when the tree comes up? It is never boring. People get so hype. People are like, oh shit. People start like popping off and shit. And like, dude, I remember like, okay, this was Brawl, not the same concept because it was still Unfrozen Stadium. I remember it was like Esam versus one of the Japanese players at one of the Apexes, and he went to the one side of the tree or the cliff during the rock stage transformation because it's the same transformations, and he started doing the Pikachu taunt where it's like, and he looked at the crowd and he was like, Pika, Pika, and he started like an IRL Pikachu chant. It's like, Pika, Pika, Pikachu. People get hyped for that shit, dude. People get hyped for that shit. And it's like one game per tournament set, maybe 2, but usually it's only 1. So it's like 1, maybe 2 30-second, 1 on average, because you've got the water stage and the grass stage. And even then, people don't always wait out the rock and fire transformations. It might be like, it might happen twice in a top 8. I would say it happens probably like twice in a top 8 on average. And it's always hype when it happens. It's tense as fuck, dude. But people are like, no, it's boring. I'm like, dude, it's never been boring. Have you ever been to a tournament? I'm just like, whoa, like, it's like, what are you talking about? I don't know. I hate Twitter. People talk out their ass on Twitter. People say wrong things brazenly. They say outright wrong. They say things that go against the grain of reality constantly. And I have to sit here and read it. I hate it. I hate Twitter. And Riptide when Melee f***ed up and they Nintendo. Oh god, that was so fucking hype. Yeah, it's funny as f***. Yeah, when shit like that happens, it's usually just hype. I don't know. Yeah, if it happened 20 times per top 8, it would probably get boring, but it doesn't, so it's fine.